Our first inductee, Henry Kalungi, and introducing him is his former head coach and Winthrop Hall of Famer, Rich Posopenko.
Thanks, Mike. I'll do my best to keep this thing rolling. So I know some people got nervous when I came up here, but this is actually one of the few times I have something written out. So I'm going to read most of it and try to keep it short and on track. First, let me congratulate all the other inductees here. I was here when each of you played here, and of course worked with Jack Frost for 25 years, and I'm still working with Jack Frost out at Legion Collegiate Academy. So congratulations to all yous. Also, another big shout out to Brett Redden. He puts a lot of time and effort into this thing to make it a nice event. Brett played for me back in the day, and he's been here for many years and has done a great job for the athletic department. This is a real honor and privilege for me to introduce Henry Kalungi, and it's difficult to keep this short because there's so much to say about him, and there's so many funny stories. I'm so proud of what Henry has done with his life and the man he's become, and I'll tell you, the best is yet to come for this guy yet. I've known Henry since he was 17 years old when we started recruiting him in 2005. And I will tell you, recruiting an African player is a long and difficult process, especially when he had no cell phone and no computer. He would have to rent internet time or computer time in an internet cafe so we could communicate every week for about 30 minutes. And you can imagine how difficult that would be, trying to explain the application process to the university, the NCAA eligibility stuff, and then also the visa. But somehow we got through it. But as I got to know Henry better, it became apparent he had no plan B, no backup plan. He was going to get a degree, and he was going to play professionally. And either one of those things weren't an option to fail. He had a one-way ticket to the U.S., and he wasn't going back to Uganda full-time. Obviously, I'm very proud of what he's accomplished in soccer, so I'm going to read off his accolades, and then I want to take another minute and talk about Henry as the person outside of soccer. Henry arrived with a professional attitude and work ethic which helped elevate all aspects of our program. He also helped to improve an already strong culture we had in the program. Henry only had 3 years of eligibility since he was considered a transfer back in the day. And, you know, with these NCAA rules today, he might have 6 years if he was coming in now. Henry was a defender and one of the best to ever play in the Big South and at Winthrop University. He was a first-team all-conference selection 3 years. He was an all-South region selection 3 years. He helped us to 2 regular season championships, 2 tournament championships, and 2 NCAA appearances. We were 42, 12, and 8 during those 3 years. He was selected to the All-South or Big South All-Decade team. He's a member of the Ugandan U20 and the Ugandan full national team. He was drafted by Colorado in the 4th round of the 2009 MLS Super Draft. He enjoyed a 12-year professional career, most of that with Richmond, as Henry says, the Richmond Kickers, and, of course, our hometown Charlotte Independence. He was a USL first-team selection with the Richmond Kickers, and he was also selected as a top 30 all-time player with Richmond. He's interrupting my speech. This happened before, by the way. So let's give Henry a round of applause for those accomplishments. Now, I'm even more proud of the man he's become and what he's done outside of soccer. The first conversation I ever had with Henry, the only thing I said to him, and he can verify this, is I want you to pay this back moving forward to another African kid. And I can tell you, he certainly has gone way beyond that ask. Against many odds academically, and coming from a very poor background and a much different culture, Henry graduated with a degree in business and a 3.0 GPA. I had many professors call me that first month or so and say they would work with him, but some of his skills were so far behind, they didn't know if he'd make it. They did not know the discipline and the desire Henry Kalungi had. I will tell you, he worked overtime to catch up academically. Perhaps the biggest accomplishment was somehow talking Jackie into marrying him. He'd come back from his pro season, he stalked that poor girl until they finally started dating. He's a great dad. He now owns his own soccer club, Alpha Soccer Academy, and he continues to teach soccer at daycare centers across York County and the Charlotte area, in addition to doing his individual lessons. He's also the coach at Fort Mill High School. He started his own Henry Kalungi Foundation many years ago, which has now grown tenfold. He just returned from Uganda 2 weeks ago from his annual Christmas and end of the year party where he feeds and clothes 500 to 600 kids each Christmas. For most of these kids, it's the best day of the year for them. His foundation has purchased 15 acres of land in Uganda, which is being cleared to build a school and soccer academy. Henry and Jackie have brought women's issues and the education of these issues to the forefront, which are not openly discussed in Uganda. He distributes food to some of the poorest areas in the world. He tries to make a better life for kids in Uganda and families. I could continue on, but I'll tell you, if you want to find more information out, you can Google the Henry Kalungi Foundation. You go on social media outlets. There's a ton of videos and a ton of photos. He has a big heart. He's a world-class person and a great role model. So at this time, it's now my pleasure to introduce the first member of the class of 25 to the Winthrop Athletics Hall of Fame, Henry Kalungi.
If I say something and you can't get it, there might be some people that will interpret for you because my accent can be complicated sometimes, but I'll do my best to make sure everybody can hear me. First, I want to thank Gaff for introducing me, but most importantly, I thank God. God is good, and I'm glad to be here. I'm very thankful for this opportunity. We come a long way. As Ugandans, I came with Stephen, Nesereko is right over here, who was a brother that I relied on when we were coming, but I didn't know because he was like a big brother. So I expected that he would be guiding me through things. You know, he's a little older than me, but it was the other way around. So, but actually, before I continue, Vivo, we're going to use some of your time. I spoke to Gaff, so. One of the first stories I want to say, to me, it's about thanking people because my life, God orchestrated it where every time He brought the right people in my life that have guided me. So if I forget someone, I'll reach out to them outside here, but my journey was guided by so many people. And from saving Gaff's job in 2006, I think, Brett, you might have the evidence on that. The first game, the championship we won, we come in from Uganda. Everybody's waiting for the Ugandans. It had been a long time. We hadn't won championship, so we show up and it's like, oh, those are the Ugandans. They are here, okay. And me, I look at Steven and I'm like, what are we getting ourselves into? Because I was in Uganda and I would watch videos like these movies. There's some American movies where kids are at school, they are at the pool, they are partying, they are doing all these sorts of stuff. So me and Steven, we were watching a movie and I'm like, look what we're going to be doing, man, when we go over there. So we are excited. We are coming to America. It's going to be party time. So we get on the plane. It's a long trip. We had a few bucks in our pockets that they had given us in Uganda, so we don't want to spend that money because we want to use it when we come here. So our plan was always to eat on the plane. When you get off, you wait for the next flight. So sometimes we'd wait in the airport for like hours. We are there yawning, then you get on the plane. By the time you get off the plane, the food has already disappeared. So we went from Uganda, we went to Brussels, then I don't know my big brother what he was doing to book the flights that brought us here. We end up landing in Atlanta. And then we get off the plane, and then Patrick Mitrovic is waiting to drive us 3 hours here. So we were on the plane for like almost 30 hours to get to Atlanta, and then we have to ride with Mitro, whom we didn't understand. So he's trying to speak English to us. We speak different English. So all we did is pass out. We slept. The next thing we know, we are in Rock Hill. So we are looking around. We are like, okay, when the activity is starting. But they told us, okay, so we met Gaff the next day. He told us, hey, the expectations. We came with one bag each, a duffel bag. So we show up. The next day, we go to Gaff's office. And within a month, we have more stuff than we could have ever imagined. Like, our rooms are packed. Everybody's giving us clothes and all this stuff. And in our mind, we are like, okay, now how can we get this stuff to Uganda, to the people there? Because we had so much. But, we came in, and so we are starting to get used to the environment because we know we're on scholarship. We have to come and deliver. But we haven't seen any of the players. So we wake up every day, summer, it's hot, we are trying to run. And then Gaff is getting us to coach a summer camp. And the reward was to take us out to eat. So after one of the coaching sessions, Gaff is like, okay, I'm going to take you guys out to eat. And we're like, okay, we'll have to eat. So let's go. He takes us to a buffet. It's called Ryan's down. So we get to the buffet, and we get one plate each. And then Steven puts on food, we go sit. And then after that, Gaff is like, do you guys know you can eat as much as you can? So I look at Steven and I'm like, did you hear him? Yeah, we can eat as much. And then we're like, it's go time. So I think that's why that place is out of business. They never recovered from when we came in there. But I think one of the things also trying to figure out our way. I remember we're in Thompson and we don't know the guys we're going to be playing with. Because Gaff, Stephen was like, man, Gaff looks like Ferguson, the Manchester coach. So this guy probably has a lot of expectations from us. So every day worked out. And Stephen is asking me, are you sure you're going to be able to play? And I'm like, why not? So we are in Thompson one day eating. And then they introduced to us a player called Douglas Kriblu. The guys that knew Douglas Kriblu, every time we looked at him, we were looking at him like this. He's a big boy. So Steven is like, my friend, you're not going to be playing. Do you see the guy that is going to be playing your number? The guy is so big, he's so tall. But it encouraged us to work extra because we knew the expectations the school had. So with that, I want to start thinking. I have a list. I hopefully won't skip very many people. First, I will say to the Winthrop University and the Winthrop Athletics, when we were brought here, it wasn't an opportunity for just me or Steven. We knew it was an opportunity for so many people. So we never took it for granted every single day. We worked our butts off. We knew it has to change where we're coming from. So the opportunity that we were given did not only affect my life, but affected so many people in my family. Some were brothers, like one of them is right here. Musa Mwanda drove 7 hours to come and be here. We knew we have to give back. So we are very thankful for that opportunity because it changed our lives and so many other people's lives. And I want to thank the late President Di Giorgio because I know, may he rest in peace, I know he's one of the people everybody went to speak to and, explain, hey, we need to get these Ugandans here. So, and they created a way for us to come. And then I want to thank the athletic director then, Tom Hickman, I think he's here. He's one person that, regardless of the time, you go to his office and his office is open. He would guide us through everything. So we really appreciate you. And I also want to give credit to the current athletic director because Winthrop had lost, because every time I went to play pro, I would come back home. Winthrop was always home. I was always welcome. I used anything that I wanted. But then that connection was kind of disappearing. But I think you guys have created a better environment and we appreciate it. Everybody comes in, all the players that have been here. At least I can speak for myself. Every time I come in, I'm very welcome. They have supported everything that I do in Uganda When you see some of the pictures, most of the kids in Uganda wearing Winthrop athletic gear. So we are very thankful for the environment you guys have created and the opportunities that you guys are still creating. And then I'll go to Gaff. Gaff was a parent to us. When I came in, I knew if there's no food in Uganda, I'm going in his office. I'm like, Gaff, I need some money. People back home need to eat. So, but every time I went in, sometimes I'll be like, hey, I need maybe $200. People back home need to eat. I'll bring it back when I get my paycheck from school. So he'll give me the 200, I pay back 50, the rest we figure it out later. So I thank you, Gaff, for everything you did for us and the things you still do. Is also on the board of our foundation and continues to impact so many. Dan Rednauer, who was in the middle of everything to get us here too. Bruce Moran is over here too. I know Mike Gabe, I think, is not here, but we really appreciate you guys for everything you poured into us to make sure we get out of the program successful. I'll try to speed it up. I don't take for granted the time I worked on campus. There was a lady, Miss Sharon Witherspoon. I got hired to work at the desk. People couldn't understand my accent. You know, I would be over there, people call, they want directions, and I would speak to them, and they're like, can you put someone that speaks English on the phone? But I never got fired, so I kept working. I think I was paid like $4. I don't know if I was the lowest paid or something, I don't know. But the money that I made was able to help change lives in my family. My brother's going to school, and my family is having something. So I'm very thankful for that I was able to work on campus. I want to thank Brett Redding because even when I left school, I would still call this guy and be like, I need my CV put together. There's a team that is interested in me, but you need to put a CV together. And we'll be like, he never hesitated. He would write it up, he would get it fancy, and then he would send it out to people. So I appreciate everything, and I think Winthrop is blessed to have you. So thank you so much. I want to thank my Winthrop teammates. I know some of them are here tonight. We created a lot of memories together. We had a family, a brotherhood, and all those memories, they are still with us. So thank you guys for coming today, because this is not possible without you guys for pushing each other and making sure we look out for each other. So thank you so much for being here. I want to thank all the teachers at Winthrop. Miss Gay Randolph, I don't know if she was able to come, because when we came from Uganda, we had no idea what we're getting into. The writing was different. Everything was completely different. So we get over here, there's no room to fail. You know, Gaff made it clear. So we have to navigate everything, study hall, but the teachers were phenomenal. And the memories I have, everything I learned from Winthrop has shaped my future so much. And I want to thank Mrs. Waco, who also became a mother to me. She taught me nutrition, so I look good because she taught me some good stuff. And my career was long because she taught me some good stuff, so thank you. And I want to thank Roger, who was the Dean of Business during my time. I had to leave school early, and I was doing core classes, but he was able to speak to the professors to work with me because I wanted to get my degree. Without my degree, I would be nothing. So I appreciate all the teachers that poured into us and helped me graduate later. I want to thank Susan and Tom Gunderson, who became our American parents. All the Africans went through this house. You are welcome. Thanksgiving, food is cooked. You can eat as much as you can. They are good cooks. So we want to thank you for all the time you guys poured into us. Jorad, Mr. Manze is over there. He's a retired lawyer, but even up to now, we still go there to get legal guidance and stuff. So we thank your family for taking us in and helping us be who we are. There was a family, the Sorrell family, I don't think they are here, so we want to thank them too. Jeffrey was the first person that really took us. He came to the courtyard where we are staying. He told us, okay, I'm taking you guys shopping. He took us to Walmart and he told us, get as much food as you want so that you guys can go and cook. So I want to thank him for that. I want to thank all my clubs that I played for because they helped my journey to get where I am. And I know my head coach from the Shouting Independence is here, Mike Jeffrey. So I learned a lot of things while I was with the Independence. And I want to thank Dan Demico too for the amazing work he does in the community and supporting all of us as his own kids. I want to thank my national team for giving me the opportunity to go and play at the highest level. And I want to thank my wife because when I say Winthrop gave me everything, and I think I need to thank Coach Bruce Atkinson is not here, but he brought her from California and I was able to meet her on campus. So everything after meeting her exploded. Our foundation, she puts in all the work. All the kids you see running around, she handles it. So I'm very thankful for you, honey, for everything you put in our family. So thank you. My parents told me to say this to Winthrop. Thank you guys because you changed our family. We don't know where I would have been because my parents couldn't have paid for my education. So we are very thankful for the opportunity. And there's so many people I would thank, but I know I'm short of time. I used some of Vivo's time, but thank you, Vivo. And I want to congratulate all the inductees tonight. You guys deserve it. And I wish everyone continued success and blessings. Thank you so much.
Thank you.